Okay, so these are basically clips from I Survived Beyond and Back, and hopefully with the extra material here, they'll allow me to keep it on the channel. So here goes.
I was a typical 21-year-old college student. I spent a lot of time having fun with my friends and didn't go to class as much as I should. I had suffered some depression, and so I was just getting to the point where I was feeling better and starting to feel like I was getting everything back together. Scarlett is my dog, and she's a golden retriever. I got her when I was 19. There were lots of times, and she's the only reason I got out of bed was just to feed her and let her out and take care of her, you know. Everything I went through, she went through too, and it helped me.
My little girl's pretty tough. She spent the first week of her life in intensive care. She was 2 months premature, 4 pounds, 11 ounces. So she started her life fighting for it.
It was Easter weekend. I had come home to be with my family.
We spent the whole weekend pretty much around the house, going swimming, playing with her dog. It was a phenomenal weekend. And then on Monday morning, I went off to work, and she drove back to Lubbock, back to school.
I was going to Texas Tech University, which is about 5 hours away from my hometown. It's a drive I'd made a million times before, so, you know, I felt completely safe. I actually enjoy the drive. I turn the music up really, really loud and roll the windows down and just, you know, cruise. I'd been on the road for about 2 or 3 hours, and it was time for a CD change.
We're about an hour and a half south of Lubbock, and it's a lonely stretch of road. Had my oldest daughter, youngest daughter, and granddaughter in the back seat, and we noticed a girl passed us on our left. My husband and I both looked over and saw her reaching for something, and we paid attention to that because that was the one thing we'd always told our children to never do.
I went to get my book of CDs because I was going to change my CD. I was steering with my knees trying to pick out my CD, and I veered off the road a little bit. And when I tried to get back on the road, I overcorrected and spun out of control.
We topped the hill just in time to see this little car with this young girl go off the road to the right, and she just went to spinning, and dirt was everywhere. You could barely see the car for all the dirt.
I could tell that I was going to hit the guardrail. I could see that I was spinning right into it. So that I reached back and grabbed my dog because I didn't want her to get hurt.
At this point, we saw a huge golden retriever jump out of the back window, and it just got up and kept running across the other 2 lanes of the highways, and it went up into the canyon. We pulled up, and we just took off through the dirt and the gravel running up to the car. The girl, Ashlee, was slumped over into the passenger seat with her head bent back, and she just opened her eyes, and blood was streaming out of her eyes. And it was just tears of blood coming down her face.
The minute I hit that guardrail, I remember thinking that I'm not okay, that I'm dying.
It looked like a horror movie. It really did. The driver's door had caved in all the way to the dashboard. She had a very large opening on her left side all the way down to her stomach where the car door had come in. Her eyes were filled with blood. There was about a 60-mile stretch in there with the canyons that you could not get cell service. Never had been able to. And she was able to get out on the first ring. We knew it was bad enough. Don't even send an ambulance. Just get us a care flight.
I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just knew that it hurt. The next thing I remember is that there was a woman standing there. I don't remember a lot about the conversations that we had. I just know that she was very comforting and she made me feel better, and I was trying to get her to call my mom.
The raw emotion of need was just overwhelming. She was a young college student, but in the look in her face, she was no different than our 2-year-old granddaughter. She was just a child. I asked my daughter, I said, can we get out on the cell phone again? And she said, I don't think so, but she tried. So she dialed the number for me, and on the first ring, her mother answered. I gave her my name. I told her, we're almost to Lubbock. There has been an accident. You need to get her daddy, and you need to get in the car, and you need to get to Lubbock as quickly as you can.
I knew that I was dying, but I was not scared at all.
She was looking at me, and I was talking to her, and all of a sudden, there was nothing there. Her eyes were open, but I knew she wasn't there.
I felt it instantly, just a peace inside of me. I am still in my car, but there is a whole nother world going on. I see a really bright light off in the distance, and it was comforting and it was loving. It was very much like a hug. Also, there was a man outside my window that I was talking to through my passenger side window as I was laying there. He looked like a cowboy. I remember very distinctly his hats and his boots. He didn't seem familiar to me. It didn't seem like it was a spirit of an old family member or something like that. It felt more like he was a stranger that was there to help me get through this experience.